I was thinking about how we've been learning so many ideas about math and numbers and larger than and less than in units 1 and 2 so far this year in math. And we've been working a little bit on how to solve stories that ask us questions that we can answer with math. So today, I thought we'd practice putting it all together. Reading a story and thinking, how did it start? What changed? And how did it end? Thinking about, did we put things together or get more? Maybe we should add. Or should we subtract because we took some away or because we're comparing? And then finally, mathematicians, we want to make sure that we go back to the question that we're trying to answer and see if our answer makes sense. Check it. Are you ready to try? Okay, let's start with one of those penny stories that we were working on in our home links. This one says, Jack dropped 5 pennies in a cup. He then dropped 4 more. How many pennies were in the cup? I'm going to think about my change to model. Okay, he started with 5. It changed because he dropped 4 more. How many are in the cup? That's what we're trying to solve. Let's make it a number sentence. We've worked on those. 5 and 4 more, and we're trying to figure out how he ended. Would we add because he got more pennies? Or should we subtract because he took some away? You're right, he got more. 5 plus 4 is 9. Oh, I don't want to forget this last step. I could go back to my question. How many pennies were in the cup? Well, it looks like maybe 9 pennies. Does that make sense? Started with 5, got some more. 9 is a larger number. It checks out. Mathematicians, we can solve stories that ask questions with math. Want to try another one? Julia had 6 stuffies. She gave some to her sister. Now she has 2 stuffies. How many stuffies did Julia give to her sister? Going to use that change to model. It really helps me to think about what is changing and how it's going to end up. Let's look. Okay, so she had 6 stuffies. That's how she started. She gave some to her sister. Now she has 2 left. In the end, she has 2. We don't know what changed. That's what we're trying to solve. Well, if she gave some away, that's taking away. You're right, we should subtract. Now we have to figure out what's missing. What do you take from 6 to go to 2? We could use a number line or even a number grid, and we could go back till we get to 2. 6 minus 4 is 2. Is that what you were thinking? One more thing. We have to check. Does this make sense? Okay, let's see. If she starts with 6 and she gives some away and she ends up with 2, how many did she give? 4 stuffies. And that makes sense because 4 is between 6 and 2. And when you start with 6 and give 4 away, you'd end up with 2. It checks. It makes sense. It's kind of fun. It's like we're solving all kinds of puzzles by using our math. I'm going to try another one. How about this one about Skittles? That's one of my favorite candies. Do you like them too? They're so good. Shyla had some Skittles in her lunch bag. When she dropped her lunch bag, 4 fell out. Shyla only had 6 left to eat. How many did she start with in her bag? This one even says we don't know how many she started with. She dropped them, 4 fell out. That's what changed. Subtract 4, and it says in the end she had 6 left. We don't know how many she started with. She dropped and it changed by 4 and she ended up with 6. Some were taken away, so we subtracted, and now we have to figure out how to answer that question and make sure it makes sense. Well, she's going to end up with more than, no? Let me think again. Let's see. She's going to start with a higher number, take 4 away, and still have 6. So she has to have more than 6. 4 more than 6. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. 10 minus 4 equals 6. How many did she start with in her bag? I'm going to answer 10 Skittles. It's kind of a nice little snack. So mathematicians, when we're solving stories and we want to figure out how they started, what changed, and how they ended, we can use math to solve it. And then we always want to go back and check the question and make sure that our answer makes sense. I was in 3rd grade the other day, and they were collecting some rocks on the playground to study. Here's a question. Lorraine had 8 rocks in her pocket. Are you thinking that's how she started? She gave 4 to her friends. That's what changed. How many rocks does she have in her pocket now? You're right. We're figuring out how it ends. Did she add or did she subtract? She gave them away. Yeah, subtract. So if she starts with 8 and she gives 4 away, she still has 4, doesn't she? My answer would be 4 rocks. And that makes sense because it's 4 less than 8, which she gave away. Mathematicians, let's put it all together for a while and think about a change to model. Does it make sense to add or to subtract? And then make sure we go back and check to make sure our answer makes sense. All right, mathematicians, have fun solving problems using your math.